land masses or looking for somewhere like Atlantis that is, would have fallen under the sea during all this flooding, and with all these big glaciers melting. They haven't like really dug around much in the sea from what I understand.
It's a tough place. Like, it's hard work, right? You need a
Oh yeah.
big ship. You need millions and millions of dollars of equipment. Not to mention the current down there generally along the coastlines and things where you'd be looking for stuff or turbulent. There's debris
Well,
flying
and
around.
not to mention how corrosive salt water is to basically anything. I mean, the ocean, things decay fast. They decay like 100 times faster if it's in the ocean.
They found like some old ships and stuff, right? Like some old I'm talking about like World War maybe 2 or 1. Have they ever found old pirate ships? What's a Titanic? When did that happen? The 20s? The 30s? I don't even remember. 1800s? I don't remember when the fuck Titanic happened. Google that shit. When did the Titanic sink?
Happened in 1912.
Okay. So is that shit still there?
Yeah.
All right, so 100 years, but it's probably barely there, right? Like probably a lot of it is decayed. Right?
Yeah, it's probably in fucking ruins.
Right.
Like 'cause it
So
was mostly wood.
100 years after that, after now, it's going to be even less. 100 years, 100 years, 100 years, right? It's going to be probably gone in 500 years, probably totally gone, right? We're talking about events that happened 10,000 years ago, 10,000 plus years. So even if there were ships, even if there were skyscrapers, even if there was cars or other types of vehicles, light posts and fucking um street signs, they're all gone. Right. Not only from the salt water decaying it, but from the sand and debris brushing up against it, eating it away, acting as kind of an abrasive, right? So,
Yeah.
like, what are they going to find down there? It, a lot of it's stone, right? Rock, like big megalithic stones and rocks, and they found a bunch of that stuff. I forgot where they were. Bunch of underground sites off the coast of maybe like was it France or Greece or somewhere along there. They found in just north of Alexandria in near Egypt. They found huge stone like what are the faces called? There's
Oh,
another
the
name for them.
Easter Island faces.
No, I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about just like a pharaoh's head carved in stone. They found in the waters way the hell up there. And what's the other thing that's weird too is like when you look at Egypt, right? If you look at the river, the Nile, there's an ancient riverbed on either side of where the river is now that spreads like a mile or two off to each side, and that would correlate with how the pyramids were built and why they were built where they were, because they essentially would have been right on the riverbank at that point. But again, this was 10,000 plus fucking years ago. The Sphinx.
Yeah, the Sphinx. That's something they were talking about. The Sphinx uh, they think was constructed way earlier, way before any of the other motherfuckers got there and started trying to modify it. Like because it's in the shape of a lion, and it points directly at the Leo constellation, and that time span. I think someone was saying it was like that was the what is that called? Not not the horoscope, but when it's like the in the Mayan calendar they have like the whole span of time that's constellation of Leo because of the way the Earth rotates.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the word for it though.
So that's what they were thinking. that it was built in that time because of the way it points exactly to the constellation, like spot the fuck on, and because it's in the shape of a lion. And when the Egyptians were around, it was in the constellation of Taurus, and they had a whole bunch of like, the dude made a point about how, they weren't shy about, making hieroglyphs of bulls and talking about, you know, bulls and whatnot. Um, so why, if it was built in the year of that the Egyptians were around, why wouldn't it be in the shape of a bull?
Well, you'd have to. I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. That's a problem with those Egyptologists, dude. Like, and all these scientists in general, they get fixated on a point, right? And they make some money talking about it, and they get invited to lecture and get paid to do all these things with these particular points of view. If they were flopping around and doing actual scientific work, right, and changing their thought process and their beliefs and their findings constantly, they're not going to get the same kind of repertoire
Recognition.
recognition of what they need to do all the time. It's going to be different. It's going to be ever changing. And
Yeah.
there's a guys. I mean, the Egypt is fucking nutty, dude. Like the pyramids, right? Like if you look at them, they're a mirror image of Orion's belt. It's weird. They line up exactly like Orion's belt. And they're like directly above them.
Well, and they're saying that the three of the pyramids out of the five are constructed differently. Like three of them are pristine, and then you have the other two which are just shit. Like not nearly the same craftsmanship as the other three.
Probably lost technology. Here's a simple fact for anybody that tells you that the pyramids were built by Jews, right? You can just shut them the fuck down real quick, okay? All the ancient Egyptologists, all the archaeologists, all the mainstream people, right, have firmly committed that the Great Pyramid alone, not all of them, just the Great Pyramid, the single Great Pyramid, took 20 years to build during the reign of, I think it was Khufu. I don't know if I'm mistaken on that name or not, right? The problem with that is the math and the physics of actually building it. Okay, so let's throw away the part where uh, they didn't have wheels. Let's throw away the part where they say they didn't have diamond cutting blades. Let's throw away the part where they didn't have anything other than I think it's called a cubit or something. Was their measuring device? It was like a stick, roughly the size of 10 centimeters or something. It was like just under a foot or whatever. Throw away the part where they don't know math and trigonometry. Throw away the part where they don't know the speed of light or pi, right? Or any kind of math. Throw away all that bullshit, right? And just get down. They have all the tools, they have all the knowledge, and all the manpower they could ever possibly need to build this thing, right? In 20 years, with the math regarding how many fucking blocks were in the Great Pyramid, how many of those 1 ton plus stones, right? They would have had to have quarried a stone. Okay, so cut it out of the ground, carve it up to the proper dimensions that the architect at the building site needed. Transfer that stone, however far away it was, like couple miles or something, maybe. Carry it up the pyramid and place that stone every 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes. So the naysayers that I've talked to tell me, well, look, dude, it wasn't just one fucking crew working on this. They had thousands and thousands of people. They were quarrying stones simultaneously and laying stones simultaneously. Okay, the problem there, dude, is where the fuck do all those people fit? Right? How many men does it take to move a 1 ton stone? Right? How many men does it take to move a 10-ton stone? Now, when you got fucking 10-ton stones going up at a time, where the fuck do you stand?
That's a lot of fucking manpower too. Like that's a lot of people all moving stones.
And they didn't have wheels. They had rope. and sleds. That's how they said they transfer these things on like fucking sleds. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Either A,
Yeah,
it
I
took
don't
way
know.
longer than they think it did, or B, they had some kind of technology that we're unaware of now. They tried to
It w-
build a mini pyramid back in like maybe the late 80s, early 90s on some fucking TV show, like a 6 or 7 foot tall mini pyramid. And they did for like a TV show, and completely fucking failed. It took them 10 times longer than they thought. People were getting fucked up. The blocks weren't cut right. They didn't fit well. Like, it was a complete shit show. It was only like 10 stones. It took them like months to put up these couple blocks or something. It was ridiculous. Let me look that up here. What were you going to say?
I don't know.
How the fuck do you spell pyramid, dude? PIR? Failed attempt building pyramids. Nobody fucking knows, dude. Nobody knows. There's a pyramid out there. There's a whole bunch of shit on it. You have to look it up. I can't even help you. But there was a pyramid that was like bent. You ever seen that one?
No,
It's
a
got
bent
like,
pyramid.
yeah, it's got like, it's so, 50, 100 feet up, or however the distance is. It's maintaining an angle, right? And then suddenly it tapers in, right? Like they're like, oh, well, you know, we're gonna need to switch this around and change the angle of the top of this fucking pyramid. And they say that they did this on purpose because they were running out of material and they needed to change it, or all these things. Uh, the Great Pyramid actually has 8 sides. Did you know that? On the equinoxes, when the sun is rising, it casts shadows on 2 of the sides, and they're actually like concaved in the center. So there's actually
What?
technically, yeah. I'm gonna try to find a picture of this, dude. It's fucking crazy. They didn't even find out about it until someone flew over it with an airplane and took a picture. Yeah, here. Here's a fucking picture right here, dude. It'll blow your mind. This shit is not photoshopped. You can Google pyramid has 8 sides. There's fucking ton of photos on it. It's fucking crazy, dude. And there's mainstream archaeology, or the
Oh, it's
Egyptologists.
crazy. So it's like they put triangles like me joining in the middle,
Yeah,
like kind of built their own separate cones.
yeah. And the Egyptologists say that it was an accident. They say that it was due to earthquakes or how they built it,
Well,
and that it
that's
fractured.
bullshit. Because
Right,
like that's way too perfect. That looks calculated. That
dude.
doesn't look
Everything they
like
did
it's an
was fucking
accident.
flawless.
Like really, they're gonna say that was an accident? That was just like they line these up perfectly with constellation. They transfer all these millions of tons of stone to create this world monument, and they oversee the structure's integrity so it collapses at these certain points all across the whole thing. I don't buy it.
There's the first picture where they noticed it. It was like in the 30s or 40s or something. They're flying
Yeah,
over
I'm
it.
not buying that, man. That's like they for sure knew what the fuck they were doing when they built those fucking
Of
things.
course, dude. Everything is so precise. There's some nutty shit about this pyramid, dude. Like, I don't remember the exact numbers were. Okay, but essentially pi 3.14159264, whatever it is. I think that's what it is. The 10 digits has everything to do with the pyramid. It is completely and conclusively structured with the knowledge of pi. And the Egyptologists say that there was an accident, pure coincidence. There's some other crazy shit about it too. It's like the distance around it in inches is the same number as the speed of light? 299,762 something. Hold on. It'll fuck you up, dude. Hold on.
I don't know, man. I really think that the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx were built by a much more technologically advanced civilization that came up before those other two pyramids were built.
Here it is. The Great Pyramids coordinates. Punch this shit into Google Maps, dude. Okay? 29.97925 or 2458. The speed of light 29972 or 792458. The coordinates to the Great fucking Pyramid, dude, are the speed of light to 9 digits.
That's crazy.
That's not a coincidence, dude.
There's no way it can be. Like,
It's no way, dude. There's no way.
but what does it mean?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
I think-
what was the significance of that? Like, why did they need to make it the same as the speed of light?
Well, I think it has to do with what a lot of people now are starting to believe that the pyramid was, and that in fact was a power plant. It created energy. It created power. So there's couple things you need to know if you don't know already. The 3 main pyramids in Giza that everybody talks about had face plates on them, so to speak. Some of them still have them towards the bottom. The Great Pyramid, I believe, still even has some chunks of it at the top. And it was a smooth sheeting that went over the outside of the jagged stones that you see are exposed if you look at a picture now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at a picture of the Great Pyramid right now, I think it's the Great One. You can see at the top, there's kind of this like different color, different texture at the top of the Great Pyramid. That was a white stone sheeting, right? Made of highly magnetized stone, apparently, is what these guys say that have been out there and done studies on it. The other one had red granite over it, and the other one had black granite. Okay, what in our world today combined together are generally had the colors black, red, and white? Electrical.
I was gonna say
stuff.
electrical, like ground, positive and negative.
Right. And the other aspect of this, the Great Pyramid, is the internal design of it, where people are like, oh, it's a fucking burial chamber or whatever. Never found a single mummy inside that fucking thing, right? There's no hieroglyphs inside the fucking pyramids. Nothing. There's nothing in there. It's just tunnels and shafts and weird shit that they don't know what the fuck's going on. And what I think it is, from what I've seen, it was a power plant. It was a laser, a giant chemical laser, right? Or it created some kind of power due to vibration. There's a supposed to be aquifers running underneath this thing, right? That supposedly charged this this area, and they were showing these pictures this one time of this guy inside this chamber. It's the lower chamber. I don't know what it's called. It's just some kind of subterranean chamber underneath the pyramid, and it looked like water pressure had been forced in there, and it was sort of eating away at the ceiling panels of this thing. And there's like some other channels that go into this chamber, and there's these shafts that come out on either side, and then there's other shafts that are adjacent. And there's this I forgot the guy's name. He's some fucking scientist dude, some engineer guy. And they're talking about how the king's chamber, which is like this really tall fucking weirdly shaped thing with these huge granite stones like held at an angle over the top of it, actually would vibrate if a liquid was inside of there, forced in or something, right? And they found traces of all a chemical laser. I don't remember the exact chemicals, but you can make a laser with chemicals, like with I don't know, different kind of chemicals and heat apparently. And if you charge it with electricity, it'll create a laser beam. And these shafts in the Great Pyramid tend to point to these main constellations. And the only thing inside the Great Pyramid, which was I think called what they called the Queen's Chamber for whatever reason, was like this empty, you know, sarcophagus with no top on it. And I think they put people in there, turn this fucking thing on, and it completely dissolved them, right, with this chemical laser process, and shot a beam of light out to the fucking sky, and people thought they were getting transported to the heavens. That's what I think, dude.
And really, they were just getting fucking vaped.
Fucking vaped, or nobody was in there ever. That Queen's Chamber sarcophagus was some kind of holding device for materials that were required, and this thing actually put out some kind of electrical power.
You know, I want to know who decided that like these were burial chambers.
The first
Like,
guy there.
This is the king's chamber, and this is the queen. Like he just let his theory go, and like everyone just accepted it for what it was, instead of looking at anything else.
Right, the first guy there. That's the guy who got to fucking decide. The first dude there. They also say the top of the pyramids, there were gold caps on them. I think the capstone for the Great Pyramid's missing.
Well, I was gonna say gold is a really good electrical conductor.
Yeah. That whole place is fucking nuts, dude. And everything about it is just so bizarre and weird that you look at
they make like these air chambers. Like what? Well, you know, if you're just burying a guy in there, why do you need an air chamber built into this huge structure?
Well, there's these shafts, and on 2 separate occasions they put robots in these shafts to go up. Right, the first one went up, and they weren't able to get very far because there was a stone wall blocking it with metal clamps inside of it. Right, and I'm talking like a 10-inch by 10-inch square fucking shaft that went up at a specific degree, specific angle. And several years later, I think it was like maybe even just a couple of years ago, they drilled through that fucker, right? And then put a camera on the other side of it. And there was all these weird markings, dude. Like they don't even know what they are. Like they weren't hieroglyphs. It was just some kind of like weird red markings on the other side of this wall with these iron clamp things that held this plate in the shaft in place. And it didn't make any sense, like how that thing is there, why is there, how the fuck did that plate get in the side of this shaft? What did it do? How do you move it? Why are there hooks on it to grab, right? And then they tried to drive the robot, or they couldn't drive the robot through there, obviously, but they put the camera up there, and it was just the shaft just kept going, and it looked like, I think that it looked like there was like a side room, or somewhere to get in from the side. Like there was a whole nother chamber in there that they didn't know about.
What if they like figured out how to harness the Earth's magnetic field as a source of energy, and like they built it? Like, what if all this shit only activates during the Leo constellation or whatever that fucking zodiac is?
I don't
Like
know,
the
dude.
Earth's the Earth, because it was built a certain way, the Earth's got to be tilted a certain way, and like everything's gonna line up.
I don't think they'll ever let us know that, dude.
Well, I fucking wish they would.
I feel like if it got out that we are older than, like, people have been around a lot longer, right? Or that there was some kind of education period, right? Like you were saying, like someone might have come and taught these guys agriculture or something. It would like fuck up all sorts of people's beliefs. All these religious groups. I don't know. I think it'd be fucking chaotic. Or maybe they don't know. You know, because as I've gotten older, dude, and I've started to experience people for what they really are, they're fucking idiots. Right? I'm not the
Yeah,
smartest dude. I'm not even smart at all, really, in the grand scheme of things. But I know people that went to school for like dentistry and a lawyer, and I know a cop or two. I know people that are in geology, right? They're fucking idiots. Like they're not brilliant people. But when you're younger, you think that those people are like the end all be all of what a pinnacle of
yeah, they're
humanity.
they're like academically accomplished. You, they're obviously not dumb. At
Right.
least that's what you think.
Right. It's
Yeah,
weird.
there's some intelligence there. I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying they're dumb in that sense. I'm saying they're dumb like they're just fucking regular people. They do stupid
Yes.
shit, you know? They do the same thing that a fireman does. They say stuff. They lie or deceive to get their way. Not everybody does that, but a lot of people do that stuff, especially people in a prestigious position where like something they say or do could make them a ton of money. But when you look at these educated people, right, regarding all this stuff, all they're doing is regurgitating something else someone else said or wrote about. And these fringe scientists, guys like that were on that show you're talking about, they don't get any credibility in the mainstream world, right? Because it's like a tight knit group of people that want to believe a certain thing. The Earth is 5 billion years old, and humanity has only been around for this period of time.
Well, and they
And
get ostracized if you step out of the norm. Like you get, it's so hypercritical. They fucking blow you up and decimate your reputation if you conclude other findings that aren't mainstream.
here, let me show you this fucking picture, dude. I don't know. There's so much crap that I've seen on this that I don't remember like all the details, especially on the pyramid itself. But I've watched a lot of stuff on this, dude. And when you start watching shit from these people who have alternate beliefs rather, they're talking about this grand gallery and how it's like a resonating chamber, how the slightest sounds makes the walls shake and vibrate. Like all these crazy things about it. It's just not. There's something else going on, dude. I want to know, like bad.
It certainly feels that way. Like it doesn't seem so simple. They make it sound like it's just, you know, oh yeah, this is a burial chamber. It's obvious. And then they just write it off and, go dig up some more shit.
Well, it's because they want to think that we are now the pinnacle of human civilization. That we are the best we've ever been.
Yeah, I don't think so, man. I just don't think so. I don't have such a hard time believing that, there was another iteration of civilization who, met their end somehow, but, you know, we started over because they're obviously they didn't survive whatever catastrophe happened.
What about the pyramids in there's fucking pyramids in South America. There's fucking pyramids in China. Have you ever seen those things? There's dozens
No.
of them that are bigger than the ones in Giza. And the Chinese government for the past 100 years have been transporting dirt on these fucking things and planting trees and shit to hide them from satellite images. You can Google that shit. Google pyramids in China. There's hundreds of them. They're fucking huge. No one's
Dude,
allowed inside of them.
why are they covering them up?
Dude, they're fucking Chinese people, dude. They're crazy. I don't know. Like, why do
That's
people
weird.
do any of this stuff?
I mean, why would they want to? I just don't understand. It's like, maybe that's. See, this is going to be. We're all going to collapse, and then the next civilization is going to come around and unearth these Chinese fucking things, and be like, see, this was clearly an advanced civilization who built this. It's like, no, it was just stupid fucking Chinese that were burying pyramids.
It's probably what happened with the pyramids in Egypt.
Yeah, it was a stupid fucking Egypt fucking burying Göbekli Tepe for no fucking reason.
Dude,
It's like, why?
that place is fucking nuts.
I hear it's huge. It's like they've
massive.
only uncovered 10% of it,
It's massive.
and it's giant.
Like the stones and stuff there aren't as big as some other megalithic sites, like the ones in Baalbek in Lebanon. Like 1,000-ton fucking stones, but they're still pretty big and they're old as shit.
Well, it's huge. It's fucking huge.
They don't know what to do about it. It completely fucks up the whole narrative that people have only been around for, advanced people rather have only been around for a couple thousand years. It fucks it all up. Because this shit's fucking 10,000 plus years old, dude.
Fucking Göbekli Tepe. Man, look at those paintings on there, or those carvings.
Yeah, they're all recessed carvings. So it's not like they carved them into the stone. They carved them out of the stone. So the guys are like, okay, we need a piece this big and this big, but you also need to make a fucking lizard
So
on this
like
side of it.
they carved away the stone to make the image,
Right.
rather than carving the image into the stone.
Right. While maintaining the pillar.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, some of this stuff is really fucking precise.
With a rock. Right?
I don't think it was
in a
with
piece of
rock.
wood.
Are you kidding me?
That's what they say.
That's way too fucking.
That's what they say how they carved the
I don't
pyramids
believe
out.
that for a second.
They say they carved the pyramids out with round rocks, slowly beat away at the fucking limestone or
I
sand.
don't know, man. That's pretty fucking spot on. Like all those straight lines that they got on there, and like, I don't know. Seems a little far fetched to think that it was done with a rock, and fucking Muhammad chipping away at this thing.
Yeah, that shit was in Turkey or something, right? Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah. Some roach chipping away at this thing.
There's another site.
Fucking rock and a stick.
There's another site that's very similar that they just uncovered. It's something else Tempe. It's like Glebenke blah blah, or it's something Tempe. It's like one of the two. It's like a different word for one of the words of Glebenke Tempe. I don't remember what it is, but it's a whole nother.
Yeah, because I think Tepe is under the hill. So he did mention something. What I know what you're talking about. There's another one of these sites.
But there's no money. There's no money to go over there. And nobody wants to fucking no one gives a shit. We were talking about like an advanced civilization of people, right? Earlier, like with Atlantis, you were saying that maybe that they got too big for their britches type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? And it is fucked up, right? But I mean, I don't really give a shit. But you look at Nazi Germany, okay? You had a system of people that were sort of pushed to excel, right? You were given what you would need to survive. You were free to pursue any path you would like to pursue, with the underlying motivation that this is for the good of your people. Okay, and look what happened. So much technology and science came out of Nazi Germany that we use today.
They had amazing engineering, amazing innovation.
Something as dumb as the Heimlich maneuver, right? Discovered there, or created there, invented there, whatever you want to call it. Studies about hypothermia, math, science, physics. I won't go into the whole true or falseness of NASA or the space missions, but Werner von Braun, the fucking dude
I was going to say rocket technology all came out of World War II.
All the motherfucking Nazis got ported over here to work in the United States. There was Operation Paperclip, I believe is what it was called.
Yeah, it was.
Snatched up all the fucking scientists and made NASA, and we're like, okay, we want you guys. Brilliant people, but they look at the environment they were in, right? They were just leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else. They had jet airplanes that were ready to go. They had semi-automatic rifles. They They had I don't remember what it was called, the STG 44, I believe it was called the Sturmgewehr 44, which is essentially what the AK-47 was modeled after. The thing was invented in the mid to early 30s. The MP5 or the MP9, I believe it was, the little submachine gun, right? It's so far advanced. And the particulars of why they weren't using them has to do with, old-fashioned beliefs and Hitler wanting their rifles to be, one bullet, one kill type of shit, right? But he fucked up on that one.
God, what an idiot.
Yeah, I know.
And all these delusions of
They
grandeur.
had the STG in like 1938, 39. If they would have fucking gave those to the troops, they would have decimated the Russian army. Just fucking destroyed them, mowed them down. But they didn't.
God, he fucked up.
Yeah, they did fuck up.
Well, I mean, all their tanks. One of their tanks was worth like 4 of ours.
Yeah. At least they were insane. The Tigers, they were nuts.
Yeah, they were so fucking strong. The armor plating on them was nuts.
Everything about that whole thing was insane. But that's what I mean. I think that's what happens when you have a group of people who are completely focused on the goal of their group, right?
Well, and that's like their education system over there. You test at a young age to see where your aptitude is, and they put you on a path. Like, okay, you're going to be this guy. You're going to follow this path all the way through. You're going to be a plumber. You're smart. You're going to be a scientist. You're good with computers. You're going to be an engineer.
You're dumb as fuck. You're gonna dig ditches.
Yeah, exactly. There was no bullshitting. It's like, we're going to find what your purpose is, and then we're going to drill it home and hone that purpose.
Well, and then
And
they would
better Germany for it.
they would promote. Hold on, I'll put these eye drops in, dude. They would promote, breeding with people who were intelligent. That's where the whole eugenics thing came in, and that is like one of the biggest things that people are afraid of to talk about. Right? You say eugenics in a public forum, Nazi scum. But in reality, why wouldn't you want to do that to better the human race? Sure, two stupid fucking ugly people could make a baby and that person could end up being very attractive and invent something cool or be good at math or something, right? But it's unlikely, you know. If you have intelligent people that are attractive breeding together, they're more than likely going to have an intelligent, attractive offspring. And they can keep them on the same path. And like you said, that testing early shit. Have you ever seen that fucking show? What's it called? It's some dumb fucking movie with that stupid girl who's got resting bitch face. Divergent.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Where everybody's tested at a young age, right?
Yeah, you have like a dream, and then you have to find your purpose.
Yeah. And like they do all sorts of other like psychological testing and all these things, and they put you in a particular role, right? And honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What's wrong with that? You'd probably be happy doing that kind of stuff, right? If you're fucking dumb and people are like, you're so smart, bro, you could do anything you want, you should go to school and be a doctor. You're just going to be miserable trying to study hard. You don't really get the concepts of shit. You're not going to pass any of your classes. Even if you do, you're like, your heart's not in it.
Yeah, it's like, you know what, man, you're really good with your hands and you're smart, but you're not book smart. Go be an engineer. Or like you're good at math.
Yeah. Go be a craftsman. Make something.
Go be a craftsman.
Car. Right? But, now it's like you can be whatever you want to be. And that whole movie's premise was fucking stupid because there was like a group of people that sort of rebelled against it and were ostracized. If you're in a society where you're testing people right away, you find out that they're sort of, intermediate on everything, right? Where they could do what they wanted to do, then let that person float around. There's such a small. I'm talking about the movie here, obviously. There's such a small group of people. They're not going to interfere with anything. Let them participate in this section for a while. If they want to switch, let them go to this one. What the fuck difference does it make? If they're able to do everything well, then let them explore. Let them be useful. Why try to kill them?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It was
No,
a really shitty movie.
it doesn't make any fucking sense. But can you imagine nowadays, like trying to say that kind of shit here in America with like the
Oh,
Common
no
Core
way.
plague and the fucking 87 genders and you can be whatever you want to be bullshit?
Well, I mean, I feel like you were saying, people would just be a lot happier um, if they were set on a path. And like, it's not to say, hey, your interests don't change, or maybe the test might be wrong, but you'll have a better idea, and I think overall we'll be happier working towards a goal. I mean, we're goal oriented creatures all the way through. You're gonna be more at peace of mind. You have more peace of mind doing that than not.
It'd be
I
kind of
mean, you
nice
look at
too, though.
yeah. I mean, when you're a kid, when you're a little kid, the fun question is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And kids ask like firefighter. I want to do this. I want to be like my dad. And then 18 comes around, like, well, what do you want to do? And like, I don't fucking know what I want to do. I have no idea. So I'm just gonna waste my time fucking getting this liberal arts degree, and all of a sudden I have 16 genders.
Everybody likes to be guided a little bit, you know.
Right? I mean, we are goal oriented beings.
When you go to a
When you
job, they train you in. They help you. People like that stuff,
Yeah, yeah, feels good. Feels good to learn.
especially when it's something that fits your personality and skill set, right? So like
Yeah,
if I
because
if I
everyone
really
likes to be
love
good at something.
if I really loved fishing, right? And I wanted to be a fishing guide, and that was like my thing, right? Ocean fishing, whatever kind of fishing. To be on a boat and doing what I want to do, something that I'm good at and my particular skill sets are tuned to, and then be sort of guided on how to do these things properly, that'd feel good, right? But most people go to work in some dumb fucking career that makes no sense to them just to get money to pay for their fucking house and their credit card bills and their cell phones and their coach bags. They're fucking miserable.
Yeah, it's fucking rough.
I would just like to see what would happen if that sort of thing occurred. Do they do that anywhere else in the world? Do they identify kids' skill sets and mental and intelligence traits and then put them on a path in one direction? Do they do
I
that
don't
anywhere?
know. I don't know. My parents told me about that when they visited Germany in like 2011, something like that, and they were trying to do away with that system because they didn't like the kids didn't like feeling pigeonholed into certain points. I think they just ended up feeling bad about, oh well, I'm just a plumber.
But the world needs plumbers. Who's gonna fix
That's
your
what I
fucking
mean. Like,
pipes? And plumbers make a ton of money, dude. They make like $100 an hour.
yeah, there's no shame in being a plumber. There's no shame in working manual labor. That's I think part of the problem is uh, changing people's mindsets on, what's a good career. Like an electrician is a good career.
It's not
Those guys
fashionable
get
and
paid like
trendy.
$36. It's $36 an hour to fucking string wire and follow codes.
Yeah, and that's for a guy who works for a company. Now, if you get your own truck and tools, you're making over $150,000 a year being an electrician, wiring up
Yeah,
fucking houses as an independent contractor, subbing out for GCs. They're in building homes or commercial buildings and stuff. You're making well over 150K. Same with plumbers. Same with all that shit. But it's not glamorous, dude. You don't wear the trendy clothes and you're not on Instagram and snapping pictures of yourself doing cool stuff.
yeah, but you got money and you're fucking enjoying what you do.
I think people would rather be miserable and popular than fucking unknown and financially secure. Not
Yeah,
not everybody, but obviously there's a large portion of our society that feels that way.
Yeah, it's this cam whore culture, dude.
Yeah, look at Snapchat, Instagram, fucking whatever other fucking face apps and picture apps are out there. Look at me eating this fucking sandwich. Look at this new, you know what they call on Snapchat, when I was talking to a bunch of different broads on there, they post these stories, right? And I think Instagram has stories now too. And they call them hauls, right? When they'd go to the store and just blow a bunch of money on stupid shit. They'd take haul like hauling a truck, like a haul. They'd fucking
Oh,
take pictures of their haul. Oh, I got 8 fucking different kinds of lipstick and 5 bras and shoes, right? And then everybody would comment, and then they'd comment back on their comments. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. You fucking have to tell somebody every time you blow stupid money, and it wasn't because probably they didn't do it because they really needed that stuff, right? Or even wanted it. But the attention they get from posting about their fucking ridiculous purchase got them attention. Instant attention. I don't know. This rich people, right? I don't give a fuck what race you are, right? If you're smart enough to work on a particular project or do a particular thing, you should be put into a position to be able to do that thing. And that should be found out early in someone's life. And the people who are really fucking smart should work in the same building and work on something together. And people in another building who are really smart that want to work on something else should work on that. You'd solve a lot of problems. Get rid of all the fucking politics and the bureaucracy with bullshit. Get rid of the
I
old
mean, we'd streamline innovation at that point.
exponential growth, dude. Exponential growth. I don't know what we do with it, right? Like, what are we gonna make? A new cell phone? You know, like, are we at the peak now? Like, what's the next big thing that's gonna come out? There hasn't been a major
Stem cells,
innovation.
dude.
What's it?
We're gonna start regenerating our fucking bodies, and we're gonna fucking and cybernetics. We're gonna become robot stem cells.
That's the next big thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think
What else would it be?
robots and AI is going to be the next big thing, and then medical technology, stem cells, and um, robotic prosthetics. They're
Like
making.
robotic
I feel like they're
hearts and
making.
lungs and stuff.
Well, I mean, they're already 3D printing some of that stuff, but like a robotic hand that's hooked up to your brain's neurons, and you can control it with your brain. Like you're able to move it around and move the fingers and grab things and
Okay,
use it as like a hand.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is the innovations that have come out, right? I'm talking about ones that benefit everybody, that everybody uses every day. Okay, I'm talking about like the TV,
Oh,
the smartphone, the car, the airplane, the fucking microwave, right? Like, what's the next thing? And I'm not trying to like get a think tank here with you to try to come up with the idea. I'm just saying, like, what else do we fucking need, dude? For crying out loud.
yeah, I don't know.
Any kind of new vehicle, right? Whatever fuel it uses or whatever is irrelevant. It's still a car, right? It's still a vehicle. We already have those, right? So like, it's just painting a horse at that point. Like, what's the next thing? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I feel pretty content with what we got.
And I think most people do. And that's why no one gives a fuck because of all the bullshit that's going around the world, right? All the crime, all the poverty, all the death, all the disease, all the fucking terrorist attacks, all the war. At the end of the day, especially in America, I can go outside right now and, you know, no one's going to shoot me, right? I'm not going to get robbed. If I'm hungry, if I'm really fucking hungry, I go knock on my neighbor's house and say, "Hey, can I get some peanut butter and some bread?" I'm not going to fucking die. No one's going to starve to death in the United States. If you starve to death in the U.S., you're a fucking idiot. Like there's water everywhere, drinking fountains, public fucking restrooms. You could drink out of the faucet. It's like we're complacent as fuck. We have no need to do anything else. You got video games, you got movies, you got fucking Instagram, you got sport teams to watch. Fucking go gamble and blow a bunch of money if you want to, have some fun, take a cruise somewhere and sit on a boat with a bunch of other idiots, right? What else is there to do? We're bored.
Yeah, all this technology has made us fat and lazy.
Somebody posted on Twitter, is it just me or is everybody getting stupid? And I was thinking about the fact that you don't need to know anything anymore. You know how many fucking things we've Googled just sitting here bullshitting? I've Googled probably 20, 30 fucking things. Think about that. Think about 30 years ago. Well, not even 30, probably 20 years ago. Well, they had internet 20 years ago. So 30 years ago, if we were having the same fucking conversation, we would have to wait till tomorrow or the weekend to go to the fucking library to check out a book about any of these things, about the pyramids, about Germany, about Quebec Tempe, about the curvature of the earth. You know anything you want to know right the fuck now. Anything you want.
I thought about that. I was watching Mad Men.
What is this?
It's joinery. And I kept thinking like, man, if I could travel back in time and just bring my iPhone with me, these people would flip the fuck out.
Oh, that is very satisfying. How did he cut that so precise?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, they won't know what the hell's going on. Think about the stupidest item you could bring. Let's go back. Let's go back to let's go back to 0, right? Or before that. Let's go back to Caesar's time, 300 AD, right? Bring a lighter and a fucking, I don't even know, a fork. And you might change how the entire planet fucking turns out. That could change everything.
A fucking lighter and a fork. You'd end
Uh,
up being one of those fucking mummies.
a fucking fly swatter and a small engine for a lawnmower. That would fuck people up. They wouldn't know what the hell's going on. But I don't think they were stupid back then. They'd be able to figure it out. The first problem would be trying to figure out how to craft the metal, you know. Was that past the Bronze Age? They had
Yeah.
steel back then. So they could create a motor somehow, right? Figure out how to mold it. Ah, a wing, dude. A little airplane, like a model airplane, like a glider that you throw, it would fly.
Bring back a drone, dude.
They'd be throwing rocks at that shit.
Like, what the fuck? They're like, stop, man. This is my drone.
What is this? What did you get this from?
No, it's on Imgur.
That is some precise ass fucking woodworking, dude. Is he doing that just to do it?
Yeah, I think he's just testing out. Some of those are Japanese joineries, but I think they're just doing it to do it. He's just like trying them out.
Well, I can see like the angled pieces would be nice for things, but like when he just puts one vertical piece to another vertical piece, what the hell's the difference? Just two different types of wood they're trying to hold together? I've watched it like 5 times. I don't know, Vonskeets. I don't think we're ever gonna know, dude.
No, I don't. I don't know, man. We're gonna
Never
be
gonna
fucking
know.
robots playing Dota in our brain. 50 years.
Yeah, you won't even have to go anywhere. What's that fucking movie with who's that fucking idiot?
Bruce Willis.
No, there's another idiot. He talks like "Shush, for Scotland. Shush." He was in
What?
yeah, dude. He was in Rock and Rolla. Let's see what else was he in. You know
Oh, you're talking about
what's
the
his
dude
name?
with the abs? He's always on Men's Health.
Did you just link him to me?
No, I linked you
Oh,
a
is that
really nice
welding?
fucking weld.
That's some pretty good fucking welding there, dude. That's sexy.
Like, yeah, that's fucking precise. I mean, look at the pattern on that. It's perfect.
Gerard Butler.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, this is it. You know what I'm talking about? He was in a movie. I don't remember what it was called. Let me try to find it here. Was it Gamer? Yeah, it was a movie called Gamer. So apparently the guy um wait, no, was that it?
Oh,
Yeah, I think it
sounds
was
like a
Gamer. I think it
stupid
was Gamer.
fucking movie.
So
On September 4th,
he was remote controlled. or he was he had implants in his head, right? And some kid was like controlling him like a video game. And all these kids around the world had different people that they would control and they'd fight them. Like real people fighting each other, but they would play it like a video game. And like his girlfriend was a prostitute, right? So other people would like take control of his girlfriend and make her have sex with all these people who were also controlling other people. It was like a complete fantasy world for these rich people, right? But the poor people and the criminals were all basically it was like it was like Sim City.
Oh, so they like basically they were the players that would be controlled by the rich.
Right. Right. They'd live out like people would live out like normal lives with these people. They'd work at restaurants, right? But it'd all be fake. And then it's fucked up because you think like who would waste their time doing that bullshit, right? Well, we do that all the time. Think about all the years we spent playing World of Warcraft, farming fucking ore and making silk fucking bags. You know what I mean? What's the difference?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
And this would be with real people. It'd probably be more fun.
Like, yo, I gotta do some dailies. Gotta wash, clean the gutters,
Yeah,
clean up this
right.
yard real quick.
And that's the fucked up part about it is this show is it wasn't like a video controller. I'm about to watch this movie tonight too. I'm gonna go watch as soon as we're done talking here.
Oh no.
It's actually it wasn't that bad a movie, but these people actually moved, right? They moved around, and what they did, that's how they controlled the person. So you're right, like doing stupid things like the laundry and cleaning the gutters. They're actually moving and doing those things. They could have been just doing it themselves, but I don't know. I don't know, dude.
I don't
Shit's
know. I
fucked
feel
up.
like I feel like this would be a good podcast conversation.
Well, good thing I've been recording it.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh no, dude. The problem with that is I feel like I don't know enough to really talk about it in depth. Like I only brush the surface on so many topics.
Dude, the best here. Let me show you the fucking show you need to watch, dude. The first one. Hold on. Okay, who's the guy? I need to figure out his name, and then I can tell you the name of the movie or the movie I need to watch. He's got a really unique voice. He's an older fat guy. He kind of has fish mouth. He was in Jason Bourne, one of the Jason Bourne movies, and he looks
Oh, you're talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman.
nope. Nope. He was the old guy in the Jason Bourne movie. Heavy set guy. I think he was in the first one. Maybe the second one. He was like the guy who trained him. He was the guy who he didn't.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Let's take a look.
Bourne Identity. So I gotta find this fucking asshole first, and then I gotta look through his IMDb to try to find out. Brian Cox. Brian Cox is the guy's name.
Yeah, that guy.
All right. So Brian Cox did a voiceover for this pyramid movie that will blow your fucking mind. And if you want to start somewhere, you can watch. I think it's on YouTube. I'm not sure. I think people might have to pay for it. I gotta find out what it was called though.
I think you've linked it to me before.
Have I?
Yeah, I remember I started watching it because they talk about how their power plants. Started watching it, but then was interrupted with something and I never got back to it.
He also talks about what I was talking about, like something with pi, how it's all kind of pi here. Soundtrack, would it be soundtrack? No, I'm trying to find out what it'd be called. Director, producer, self. I don't remember what it was called, dude. I don't remember what year it was, like 2000. The Revelation of the Pyramids. That's it right there. The Revelation of the fucking pyramids. Let's see if there's any YouTube videos on it. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube right here. 2010 documentary. Let me see. Nope, it's bullshit. It's a fake video. I fucking hate it when they do that.
We can
Yeah,
only
me
be
too.
certain about dates from 600.
All right, here it is right here. It's not very good quality though. So like when you watch it, you'll see what I was talking about, how these people are just like locked into these particular beliefs. And there's like this old fuck in there who's like, "Oh, they did this by accident. There's no way. They did this simply with stones. All it took was time. They had nothing else to do." It's like, who the fuck do you think you are, dude? Do you have a time machine, motherfucker? How do you know what these people are doing back then?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know. Evolution happens over millions of years. So to say that, like 12,000 years ago, we were retarded. I mean, 12,000 years is a long time. Don't get me wrong, but to make that sort of jump in intelligence just seems ridiculous to me.
Here, look at this real quick. This is what I was talking about with the pyramid shafts. You just play it from that point.
Possibly wrapped artifacts, weighed down with a small piece of timber or stone, possibly another artifact.
Like, what the fuck is in that,
was
dude?
discovered by Gantenbrick's robot. Also, during
Just like-
initial location attempts to find
like
access
someone
tunnels
took
leading
a
to the
dump
Queen's chamber,
and put
several
the
blocking
fucking
stones required
the toilet
removal.
paper down one of
After
the
the
shafts,
removal
and
of
that's
the
what it
seventh
is.
block, a modern-era hexagonal steel rods were discovered discarded upon the tunnel's floor. Each section of the hexagonal steel rods measures 2.7
Steel
meters
rods,
in
huh?
length and was fitted with a round socket, which allowed them to be joined to the next section. In one of the lower shafts in 1872, Wayneman Dixon found 3 more objects, which could be considered proof of prior covert exploration of the mysterious northern shafts. A copper grappling hook, about 5 centimeters in length, accompanied by a small gray-green stone ball and a broken-off piece of a square wooden slat or rod, about 13 centimeters within Cheops. Clearly,
The fact is, dude, this shit has been. These people know what they are. There's someone out there, though, I believe, that knows what the fuck this shit is.
Dude, we should ask that smartest guy in the world.
You know what he'd say? Who fucking cares? I'm gonna go fuck with my cows.
Listen, man, all I care about is my family and my cows.
Nobody believes this crap, dude.
But I mean, it makes you wonder why are those steel rods in there,
I don't fucking
and
know.
why can they be joined together? Why are they all the same length?
Dude, that's
It's got to serve a purpose. Why are those shafts blocked? I mean, what? Like,
there's something in there that changes everything. If there's
well,
something
that's what I'm
in
saying.
there.
Like, there's some sort of mechanism. If there's pieces that can be moved and removed and connected, there's a mechanism somewhere. There's some sort of purpose that's got to fulfill. Why? I mean, what the fuck? They're gonna bury a mummy with steel rods that are all specific length and all
Dude,
can,
it's not
can all
even
be
a fucking
connected?
burial chamber, dude. I want to just punch people in the face over there.
Listen,
Who knows?
dude,
There could have been crazy shit in there that, like,
chamber.
fuck. The
I've
other
been vaporized, right?
the other fucking nutty thing, I don't want to get into it because I'm gonna go to sleep. But Oak Island, the fucking money mystery pit. You heard about that thing?
No.
So in the 1700s, some kids were walking around and they tripped over something and they started digging, right? And they're digging and digging and digging, and there was like these wood platforms covered with some kind of a material that they later found out was like coconut mesh fiber. There's no fucking coconuts in Nova Scotia. That's where this shit is. And they dug down, and every time they dug down, like water would come in. Well, they're still trying to dig it up today. Every like 10 feet, there's like these oak plank platform things. And every time they get below the 10 feet or whatever, water comes in from these shafts made of concrete that go out to the ocean from this island. So, this shit was built in the 1700s at minimum, right? At its oldest or youngest point, because these kids found it like 1700 something. So the shit's older than that. Second of all, there's fucking like coconut mesh fiber and weird. They found like weird tablets and like weird stuff apparently, and they can't get to the bottom of this fucking thing. Every time they think they're getting to the bottom with radar scans, there's just another fucking platform. There's a whole show about it. They're like 200 some feet down now. I think they have millions of dollars of equipment. Famous people from all around the world have gone here, dumping money into this fucking thing, trying to find out what the fuck is at the bottom and when does it stop having these wood platforms. So somebody in the 1700s drilled shafts into the island that connected to this huge money pit shaft and then formed them with concrete to let ocean water fill in. Down 100, 200, 300 feet, nobody knows how fucking deep it is, and buried something down there. And my only conclusion is there's something down there that is never, ever, ever, ever supposed to be gotten. To put that much effort and that much crazy shit into an elaborate motherfucking system that if you try to get down there, it just fucks you up and floods the whole tube again. Then you got to pump the water out and plug the holes, and they never wanted that shit to be found, and then buried it in some random ass island in Nova Scotia, and had no identifying markers where it was buried. It's just a random hole in the random of random.
Well, what's weird is like the planks. I was just reading. Scientists say that it's just a natural occurrence. It's like, well, who fucking put those planks every 10 feet?
That's what they're trying to say now? It's a natural occurrence?
That's what I just read on Wikipedia. I don't know if everyone's saying that. But.
Oak Island Money Pit, I think is what it's called or something. It's fucking crazy. Oak Island mystery. Nobody knows what the fuck is down there, dude. Nobody. They've tried and tried and tried and tried, and they can't get to the bottom of this fucking thing. It's got to be something nuts, dude.
It's like fucking the gateway to hell.
I think it's might be something biblical. Might be the Ark of the Covenant. Might be the Holy Grail. It might be something that these people who had high technology to be able to build this fucking thing anyway, put it down there in a manner that was meant to never ever be fucking found. It was probably something so terrible that they couldn't possibly they couldn't destroy it for whatever reason. They couldn't burn it. They couldn't smash it. So it has to be something, right? Because if it, why put that much effort into something that you could break?
Well, why are there so many holes that lead into the shaft? You know what I mean? Like, think of how they had to bore those out.
Why wouldn't they just throw whatever it was in the fucking ocean? They didn't think the ocean was secure enough for this thing. So they had to create this fucking this nutty stuff, dude. The other thing is too is they had a show about it, like I said, and they don't really talk about it anymore. And I'm
The
wondering if they
revolution.
got to the bottom of the damn thing and found it, and now it's been completely shut down. So right now they're 200 and some feet down. That's what
Ride
the
over
last
the
thing
five
says.
treasure. However, as you may be aware, oak trees take quickly over the last any of my speech. It may successfully, if anything, would not be revealed to the Bible data, which
And what if it was? You know, what if it was something crazy? Do you think they'd fucking tell anybody? They would never fucking tell anyone. They'd never tell.
show revenue Rick's net value is now $500,000. I will keep you
Who are these guys? I don't know who they're guys. Huge find has been made. There's all this Oak Island bullshit, dude. You can check it out if you want. It's fucking crazy. Going to bed though, dude.
Yeah, I'm tired too. I'll play some Dota tomorrow.
All right, peace.
Later.